What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hey, look, it's the bittersweet time of the year for us here at BRG. It's fall. The sweet part of that is we're home for the next few months. We're able to work in the shop and tinker and pillar fart around down here. The bitter part of that is we're not able to be on the road at events, hanging out with you fine people, shaking your hands, getting you some merch, just going out and absolutely thrashing on the pad or the track. But anyway, we're about to say farewell to our boy Homer 2.0 here, and we're going to get ready for 2025, which means we got Homer 3.0 coming your way. And boy, do I have some ideas tucked up underneath the hat here, and I'll share those with you throughout the winter as we're building this car, along with some of the others I've got tucked away back here. And if you've been watching the channel for a minute, you know what those are. We got Noisy Cricket on his way to the channel. We got the VGG Monza Burnout car, which is sitting over here, we're going to be bringing to the channel, along with Hot Mess, and again, Homer 3.0. But anyway, I'm going to take you guys around Homer real quick before we start cutting him up. And yes, if you see the community post, I'm going to cut a couple of these door skins off here with Homer's decal, and we're going to give it away to some of you subscribers and members. We'll do it during a live event, maybe do an Oprah night, and we'll give away however many pieces of this I can cut up. I'm thinking probably like a 10 by 10 or 12 by 12 square. We'll cut up, smooth the edges so nobody gets hurt, and we'll ship them off to you on BRG's dime. But anyway, I wanted to take you around, show you all the carnage and all the damage we've done to Homer this summer, and then we're going to get to work. And when we're building Homer 3.0, as every other year, I'm going to take you along for the ride. And boys, do I got some cool ideas for a new engine, new interior. He's going to keep his same theme because we're not going to change up our boy Homer, and we're not going to get rid of our girl Greta, which is always in the back seat supporting us. So anyway, let me flip you around, show you the carnage to our boy, and then we're going to get after it. This is Busted Radio Garage. All right, guys, we might as well just go ahead and address what's on the passenger side here, simply because that's where I'm at. But, Homer's a burnout car mainly, so, all of our damage is going to be from about right here back on both sides. So, we obviously got into the wheel wells quite a bit, trims all jacked up, but like right here is where Homer took most of his beating. The lower quarter panels, for the most part, are Swiss cheese, and they're gone. Now, keep in mind, Homer was a pretty rusty body to begin with. He had absolutely no floors, absolutely no trunk pan, which I'll show you here in just a minute. But boy, did we curl this body up. I mean, he's got one heck of a whiskey dent there. And then, obviously, this big, gnarly one we done here at Tom Bailey's event up in Michigan. When we caught that barrier and we left a mark. And then all of this jazz here is from the No Name event we went to, and we kind of got in the dirt just to tickle. But yeah, so let's get under the car, and I'll show you what we got going on here. This quarter panel, this is supposed to be way over here. It's completely bent over. And we split the inner quarter from the outer corner. And yeah, and then of course, y'all can remember this also from Tom Bailey's event, because we absolutely sent Homer down that chute. I think we went in at 60, 70 mile an hour into that tip in, and we ripped the bumper off. We damaged this quarter. We lost this taillight section. Yeah, he took a beating. But underneath here is essentially why we're getting rid of this body, other than the obvious. Here's the inner quarter shoved all the way up into here, outer quarter. But we broke this frame rail here in this section that holds the leaf spring, which is ultimately tied to the rear end. And we don't want to have any issues with that in 2025. That and this frame rail itself is broke. I'll show you up here. But he had no floor pan. So essentially what I just done is I took a 1/4-inch piece of steel, cut it up, beat it down in there, ran it in with some self-tappers, cut a hole for our fuel cell, and that was our trunk pan. But yeah, he is just taking a thrashing underneath here. So ultimately, we're just going to completely cut up this body and get rid of whatever we can't give to our subscribers and members, and take the rest to the scrapyard. But You know, here's our candy cane drive shaft that you seen us do last winter, which that was a pretty cool, fun project. We had a lot of views and a lot of comments on that video. But yeah, it's just a nice, you know, cool little project you can do for 20 or 30 bucks with some paint and some masking tape. Just, you know, give a little bit of flair to your drive shaft, if that makes any sense. You know, we'll have to get our drive shaft leaf back out and put it up because we're going to run double loops for 2025. So we'll have one here, and we're going to have another loop up here because we are going to be running a heck of a lot more horsepower in 2025, and you'll see that as the winter goes on. You know, we're going to do a little bit better with our wiring in 2025. This was just kind of thrashing and getting ready for 24. So we just ran our hot wire, you know, followed our emergency brake cable all the way up to our starter. So we'll professionally do that a little bit better for 2025. You know, and we're going to save some of the parts that we can save because essentially the new Homer is going to be, you know, the same Homer just with a new body. We're going to try to go with a rust-free body this time, which means, unfortunately, we're probably going to cut up somebody's, you know, prized possession car. We're just going to buy it for a nice clean body and, you know, gut out all of the innards, you know, the interior, whatever we don't need. And then we'll forward that on to somebody who maybe is restoring a car that could use those parts. So it's going to be bittersweet for the car itself, you know, is we're going to, you know, get rid of the parts to hopefully save another car. But we're going to have a nice clean body for us to use here for the channel. And what we'd like to do with Homer 3.0 is we'd like to keep it to where we can use it for drag and drive events, a drag car, a burnout car, essentially an all-purpose car. Our friends over at Hidden Motorsports do that with Klaus. If you haven't checked them out, go check them out over at Hidden Motorsports on YouTube. They got a pretty cool channel. They got a really cool car, Klaus, that they use for drifting, burnouts, drag racing. I mean, I think it's a, you know, like a 7 or 8 second quarter mile car they do everything with, which is really cool. It's a twin turbo LS inside of an EcoKart BMW, which is really amazing. So anyway, let me flip you around. We'll get up to the engine, show you what we've done there. All right, now I cannot brag on this enough, and I need to get this trans blanket off. Cope Racing Transmissions, who you know is a supporter of our channel, right there's his banner. Go check him out on YouTube, his website, and his business. Really, really cool guy, John, over there, and we love him to death. But anyway, he built us this transmission for Homer, knowing how bad we were going to absolutely beat this thing to a pulp. And I know he's not going to condone it or warranty it through his company, but I can't tell you the dozens and dozens of 6,000 RPM or higher neutral drops we done with this transmission and torque converter, and never, and I mean ever, had an issue out of it. And I do not recommend it, you know, to buy the transmission with the expectation that's going to happen, okay? But no, a really, really well-built transmission out of a family-oriented business. It's actually a family business, which we enjoy supporting them simply for that alone. You know, you got to support the family businesses. And then you guys know Homer's 408 stroker with the blower. You know the issues we had out of this engine, and it wasn't the engine as much as it was, you know, maybe my lack of knowledge of what you could get out of a small block. And with our friends over there at Calvert Racing Engines in Maysville, Kentucky, who built this engine multiple times for us, you know, they've helped us out an absolute ton throughout 2023, 2024, and we are proud and honored to be partnered back up with them for 2025, but they absolutely killed it. But as you can see, we've got oil, you know, soaked everywhere on the trans case, the oil pan coming down the engine. So I have a feeling after dozens and dozens and dozens of burnouts, we may have bored out that rear main seal or something of that nature. Maybe we have valve cover gasket leak, and it's hard telling, but it's irrelevant because this engine is coming back out, getting tore back apart, gone through again. And then we are having an actual twin to that engine built, which here is another 360 sitting here on a tire. ready to go to Calvert's, and this is going to be for the VGG Monza. As you guys know, Vice Grip Garage had a Monza at the very, very beginning of his channel, and we now own that car. It's sitting right here. We are going to be taking the Chevrolet power plant out of that, and is now going to be a Mopar-driven Monza with that 360. Probably going to go with a 904, or maybe we can get with Cope to build us another 727 if it'll fit, which it should. And that will also be coming on our channel this winter. But there's Homer's engine up there. Any of you have watched the channel, you know exactly what that's all about. And if you haven't, if you're new here, you can go back in the videos and you can watch the entire build of Homer 2.0 on our channel. That was a super, super fun build. I loved it. You know, that was a lot of good content last winter, but Homer 3.0 is gonna just blow that out of the water. And if you've been watching my community page, you know the engine we are working on for this old boy. It is hands down the nastiest engine that I've ever had built. And I'm not building these engines, I'm not. My friends right here, Calvert Racing Engines in Maysville, Kentucky. You want a dialed in engine? These dudes are sick. I mean, they are sick. You need to go check them out. Let them know BRG sent you. Even if you got any questions, call up there to Jason at Calvert Racing Engines and say, hey, look, I seen you on Buster Radio Garage. I want to talk to you about a future build. These dudes will take care of you and hook you up. And we also want to say thank you to our friends up here at TNF Signs. As you know, they've been a supporter of our channel from the absolute very beginning, done nothing but had our back. And you guys know they take care of all of Homer's artwork, his decals, you know, everything. And that goes for our shirts, our cars, I mean, banners, I mean, everything. Tommy, Chris, and their staff up there at TNF are hands down, you know, one of our biggest supporters and always has been. And for that, they will always, and I mean always, have something in my shop representing them. So, all right. So other than that, the damage isn't too substantial. I mean, we've lost some trim and some other stuff, as you can see up in here. But we just love this color scheme. You know, we love the graffiti artwork on Homer. You know, our girl Greta up there, you know, hanging out in the back seat, telling me what I'm doing wrong, all that jazz. But anyway, we're going to get started on this later on today, and we are going to go ahead and start our winter content. But yeah, this is going to be an absolute blast. Now, keep in mind, like I said earlier, we're going to do 4, we're going to shoot for 5 cars over the winter. And that's going to be Homer, Hot Mess, the VGG Monza, and then we're going to do something fun with my baby back here. Nothing too extreme because that car is, you know, is about as original as it gets. I want to keep it that way. But those of you that know, you know, the tables are out. You guys know I'm a massive, and I mean massive, table nerd. When I take a car apart, I take all the parts off, I label them, I put them on my tables, that when we go ahead and put the car back, we're not clowning around looking for anything. It's all right there. And then you guys know we're going to reach out to our friends at Summit Racing, which are right here, and that's where we get 99.9% of our parts. We order all of our performance parts from them, and they are super, super good to us here. So we want to thank them, and we're going to involve them again for 2025. And we're just going to shoot for another awesome season. I cannot wait. I just would really, 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 really like to get me a bald eagle to put over here on my box. So we got him in here to show him off. So hopefully we can win one of those from Garrett next year and get us one in the shop. You know what I'm saying? That would be awesome. But look, if you want to be the man, you got to be able to beat the man. There's a heck of a lot of good drivers in these competitions, and these boys know how to whip these cars around. And I know a lot of people saying, well, Homer's huge. Well, look, there's dudes in there driving vans and pickup trucks. They're sending these tip-ins at 70 and 80 mile an hour. So there's no reason why Homer can't do that. I just got to quit chicken footing, right? So anyway, I just wanted to touch base with you on that. It's time to say goodbye to our boy Homer and get ready to start for Homer 3.0. I just want to invite you guys along to hang out with that process. It's going to be freaking amazing. I can't wait. But anyway, I appreciate you very much. We'll catch you next time. BRG out.